And we're back. So, we're gonna do the collar. And for the collar, anybody can see if this is being seen? Because I actually, Daryl was kind enough to lend me his pattern and I made half a collar, okay? And I'm gonna make it a muslin, obviously you guys are doing on the jacket, and I did fuse it. So you start with the actual collar, okay? We're gonna place it face to face. See, that's why I have white fabric on the wrong side, because it's fused, okay? And remember, this is the side that you did 1/4 inch. This is the 1/2 inch, which it has the notch that attaches to the collar stand, okay? So I'm gonna put a few pins. I put one that is bent. Oh, I have cousins. Okay, so I'm going to stitch at 1/4 inch because that's what I have on the pattern, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you reverse. And when I get to the corner of 1/4 inch, I'm going to leave my needle down and I'm going to pivot, okay? Do not stitch and then make a second stitch line, because we're gonna trim that corner so we can turn it into a beautiful pointy corner. And when we cut it, then it's gonna start coming apart and the raw edges of your fabric will show on the outside. So that's what we do, a pivot corner. So you have a clean, continuous single stitching line. Your machine is skipping. Okay. See, it skipped. So I'm doing only half a color just for demo. Cool? Okay. So when I turn this inside out, this is gonna be inside and this is gonna be inside. See, your bobbin is not right. Yeah, because it's not placed correctly. The thread needs to go away from you. I'm gonna stitch it again because it's very loopy in the back. See that? So I'm gonna stitch it on top of it. Okay. Now we have a pretty stitching line. Okay. So when you get to the corner, again, we're gonna cut it, we're gonna turn it. See how I have that bunch of material in there? Okay? I don't want that to be a rounded corner. I want it to be in bulky. I want it to be a nice, flat, pointy corner. So I am not going to just make a single cut of 45 degrees. I'm actually gonna make a cut that is 30 degrees and another 30 degrees. And I'm very close to the corner, but I'm not cutting the fabric, the thread. If you are farther away than this, look, it's like a 64th of an inch, okay? Then it's gonna be bulky and pointy rounded, okay? See that when I turn it, this is gonna come inside and then it's not overlapping on the tip. So I'm gonna have a nice clean corner, okay? And this goes for anything that you need to turn inside out. So I do one of those ET from home, you know, finger by finger, and I flip it in, okay? And then I get something pointy, like my sarcasm. And then I push it out and I have a really nice pointy corner. Let's put it here so you guys can appreciate it. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go press it. So to press, it actually will be best that you press your seams towards one side. That way, then I can do an exact edge. Because you don't wanna do this. If you end up doing that, then you're making your color smaller. You want it to be exactly on the edge, okay? I'm gonna pretend that I went pressing it because I'm gonna finger press it because I don't want the video to be too long, okay? But you guys need to get up and go to the iron, and besides, you need your 10,000 steps, okay? And if you do 10,500, even better. So now we're gonna do top stitching. And usually shirts have a top stitching of 1/4 of an inch, or you can use the width of your foot, okay? Which is a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. Either one is fine, okay? So you guys can reverse it, you really don't have to. This time, I do want it to be perfectly on the 1/4 of an inch. So what I will do is I will put my needle down and I turn it and say, oh my God, this is too much. Can you guys see it? So I'm gonna turn it back and I'm gonna do 1 stitch more. I still need 1 more stitch. And there is perfection, okay? Because this is what is going to show. And this is the reason why I did not want you guys to have contrasting thread, because if this is not done perfectly, it looks horrible. Yes? Okay. So now that I did this, this is the color of the shirt. Cool? Just, well, half a color of a shirt. So you will have a full color. Now, here I have 2 layers, okay? Even though you guys think that you can sew 11 million layers at the same time, if you ever take any garment apart, you're gonna find that they keep doing holding stitches every time they have more than 1 layer, because you wanna control. That's your main word, control. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a holding stitch. Remember how much seam allowance I have at the bottom of the collar? Anybody remembers? Half an inch. So I'm going to stitch less than half an inch. That way when I stitch it at half an inch, it will be hidden inside. Okay? And this is just a holding stitch.
It's holding nothing. It's holding nothing.
It's making me look bad. You got offended because I...
You yelled at it.
Yes, I did. Guilty. You're gonna see that it has quite a bit of amount of stitching lines, but it's very simple. Why is it not coming out? Like the bobbin forgot that it's June. It's Pride Month, so it can't come out. There we go. You guys got my joke. All right. See, I should be a comedian. Another life? Were you killing me already?
Oh.
I know you guys want to get rid of me, but not that fast. Anyway. And by the way, it's recording that you guys threatened me. Okay. All right, so I did a holding stitch at the bottom, okay? Now I'm gonna get only 1 of the color stands, okay? And I'm gonna place it with the color. You remember that little notch? Look at how perfect it is that it matches. By the way, I fixed it. You had it at 1/2 inch and should have been 3/4. Sorry. And you know the angles should be different because we did that slash and spread of 1/8, so it curved differently, right? So make sure that you follow the edges and don't let the fabric tell you where to go. So this, I'm gonna stitch at 1/2 inch. And I don't really need to do a back stitch, but if you guys want to, you can. I mean, you're used to doing it. It's not a bad thing. But I'm not doing it because then I'm going to stitch the other piece. And with that one, I do want to do the back stitch. Okay? So I'm going to... That's why you don't stitch on top of pins. And I broke the needle. You have a needle?
I have.
No? I have... You have one? I have one in my box. Okay. See, things happen.
Good thing you had your goggles on.
I do. I really... You have a screwdriver? I didn't pay attention. He's here? Oh, she's faster than you. But thank you. Nothing personal. It must be the power of the pink hair. It's not coming out.
This machine is not like it.
There we go.
Yeah.
You and this machine are not getting along, so.
Huh?
You and this machine are not getting along.
No. That's because it's Valeria's machine.
Oh.
She doesn't work with her either. She's temperamental. She has probably family issues. You don't talk to your machine?
I haven't used mine yet.
I do. Usually what I tell him is just like, come on. I do talk to my computer. When he doesn't like to do things, it's like, come on.
You're almost done. You think you're finished, and then you're like, that's when I throw that shit into the window.
I don't think the hole is in the right place because it's not going in. Let's see.
Where do you get your machine service?
Yeah, there, we have a mechanic. We have a mechanic that comes. These machines you can't be taking it to a place. So we have a mechanic that comes every other week and he goes through them. But he has a whole list of parts that they need to be ordered. So that's part of the service.
Do you recommend somewhere to do like the whole machine or not?
What do you mean?
Like our own personal?
He would do it. He comes on Saturdays. I trust him. That's why I recommended him. Okay, so now that we sewed this, see that we sewed, oh my God, it needs rehab. Okay, see that I sew the color stand to the color? Now I'm gonna sandwich it with the other color stand. So this one was just the color. This one is going to be from the beginning of the color stand to the other beginning of the color stand. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to pin it. I promise I'll take the pin out this time. And it shouldn't be different because you actually cut it face to face, so they are identical, correct? So I'm gonna stitch all the way to the end, and this time definitely 1/2 inch. And I'm going to reverse beginning and end. And make sure that you do a nice little curve here. Because that's what you did on your pattern, right? 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 Great. Just, oh, forgot back stitch. Okay. So, to have such a sharp curve and turn it over is not gonna work. So, what happens when we have a curve? What do? We cut triangles. Remember, when you have a curve out, triangles. When you have a curve in, snips. Okay? So, I think I damaged my scissors by pulling the needle from it. Make sure you don't cut your thread. Okay? And now we turn it inside out. And you're gonna press it this way. See how pretty? We have the corner there.
So pretty.
Okay? So I'm gonna show you what is the next step. You're gonna need to top stitch it, but we're gonna top stitch it when we go, after we attach it to the shirt and go all the way around it like we did on the waistband. Okay? So if I am attaching this color to this shirt, I'm going to, where is the color? Here. I'm going to do right sides together, correct? The color goes like this. See how pretty? Right? We do right sides together, so I'll do it like this. I open this, so I will have a single layer, and I'm going to stitch it without the seam allowances, making sure that the edge of the shirt is exactly on the seam. You see that? And then you're gonna pin it all, and you're gonna stitch it from that point 1/2 inch all the way around it. After that, I'm gonna put some pins so you guys can see. After that, see that shoulder notch should match with the shoulder notch on your yoke, right? This is his pattern, not yours, so the measurement's a little bit off. But you see the notches are fairly close, right? Again, this we're stitching at 1/2 inch. So after it's stitched, we're going to press the seams towards the collar. Okay? See that the seams are going up? Then we're gonna fold in 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and we're gonna press the 1/2 inch and place it exactly on that stitching line. So what you're gonna do next is an edge stitch all the way around the 4 sides of the collar, and the collar is finished. Pretty? See, I told you this is easy. Your cuffs,
Like the waistband.
yeah, the cuffs are fairly similar to this. Okay, so I'll show you that when we get there. It's just one little detail on where to push your seam allowances to. Okay?
It does look like
All right, so we have a sample of 1/2 color, and I will upload the 2 videos with a commercial break right now.